Namaste. Now, it's advised morning and evening to meditate, because if you do it in the morning, it sets a positive tone for your whole day. And if you do it in the evening, you get a nice, relaxing satisfaction of, just the savoring the flavors, the emotions and the feelings throughout the day, and have a chance to digest them a little bit before you go to sleep.
We call that recovery.
Yeah, the recovery process. Mental stability. So what do you need to meditate? Well, you need a healthy body. That helps. If you're being distracted by a lot of pain or discomfort, it's not going to go well. So doing our yoga asana is preparing the body to be strong enough and limber enough to sit in the easy seated pose or any other seated pose for an extended period of time. You'll need more than 5 minutes in this Sukasana pose to really settle in deep to your meditation. So besides preparing the body to meditate, we also need to prepare the mind to meditate as well. The mind is the monkey jumping from one thing to the next and never settling down. Your mind is never really going to rest, relax, and enjoy the deeper bliss of meditation. The way to do that is with pranayama. Now, pranayama is the way that we concentrate or extract the essence of the breath, and it brings more consciousness, more awareness to the breath. Now, you may be familiar with alternate nostril breathing as a form of pranayama. This is very good when you need to balance and calm the nervous system. So that's one that's recommended. Now, as we practice asana, I'd like for us to play with ujjayi breath. Ujjayi means victorious breath. And the way that pranayama is practiced is to constrict the glottis in the back of the throat slightly, so you have a narrower passageway for the air to flow. And so instead of breathing through the megaphone of the mouth, you just have like a little straw that you're sipping the air in slowly through the back of the throat. And you try and breathe through your nose as much as possible. And it'll help lengthen the breath, and it adds a little audible sound to the breath. You'll start to hear your own breath, a little hushing sound, I don't know, Darth Vader sound, some people call it. And it's not loud. The person next to you should not have to listen to it. Okay? Yeah. I make jokes about it sometimes.
That's
so
what you tell Susan. Wakes you up.
No. The pranayama should not be practiced during shavasana. So just relax during shavasana. No pranayama. All right. Sitting, I sit at a desk all day, so there's certain muscles that become chronically tight and other muscles become overstretched. And unless you're very, very aware of your posture the entire day, and even then you tire, you start to slump or collapse in the chest, and this is overstretching the shoulders. We get sore shoulders, we get sore necks. And when we stand up, it's hard to stand up because we have these tight hip flexors, the psoas muscles. So we're going to stretch some of those tight muscles, strengthen up some of the lower back and abdominal muscles, and that'll help us sit up nice and straight and tall for meditation. Because when you're using really the proper alignment it's less effort. You're keeping your body in alignment with gravity instead of fighting it and trying to recover the entire time as you collapse back. So at the end, we'll prepare and meditate for 5 minutes or so. All right? So if you don't hear anything on the audio, your computer's not buffering. It's really me being quiet. All right. Chin mudra is frequently used in meditation. This is called the gesture of consciousness. Joining the index finger with the tip of the thumb represents the connection of individual consciousness, this one, with universal consciousness, this one. And you can rest palms face up or face down, whichever feels more natural in your body. And try and keep the inner body bright, the heart lifted, and the shoulders rolling up and back. Okay, and the mantra practicing today is Soham, called the mantra of the breath, with the inhalation thinking the sound So, and the exhalation thinking the sound Hum. So those two simple sounds will fill your mind through the entire length of the inhale, So, and the entire length of the exhalations filled with the sound Hum. And you can just hum to yourself. Each inhale, increase the sense of peace, calm, and relaxation. And each exhale, release any tension, cares, or worries. Just take a few breaths now to invoke this sacred space, this special time that you've devoted to your practice, because you're willing to learn, willing to try new things, and willing to change if you find something that helps you, suits you, and improves your life. We'll begin some movements while we're seated. Sometimes people will just roll out of bed and get right on their meditation cushion, and so there's some stretches that you could do just right there on your seat. And the different movements of the spine, so flexion and extension. On the exhale, draw the chin down, press the navel to the spine. And on the inhale, pull the shoulders back, press the chest forward, and lift the nose up. And exhale, round in. And inhale, open up, blossoming like the flowers are budding here. Our beautiful gardens, our house. Taking enough time for each movement to fill the lungs and empty them. Now come to a straight spine and begin circulating over the hips with the head and shoulders moving in complete circle. As you rock forward and inhaling as you rock back. The head, neck, and spine are in one straight line and just going around. And when you're ready, reverse the circles Now we're going to come to a side stretch. Place the right hand down, lift the left arm up, and keep pressing down through the left sitting bone. Bow the rib cage to the left side and crescent over the right hip. Inhale, lengthen, look up, spread the fingers. Exhale, stretch a little deeper, bending the right elbow to come lower. Inhale, press the right palm away so you expand along the right side of the body. And exhale, use that lengthening to go deeper. Great, you're doing beautiful stretch. It's a gorgeous morning. The birds are singing. We're so lucky. Let's switch sides, lift the right arm up, and begin to crescent over the left hip. Keeping the right sitting bone down by pressing the left palm away. And the breath flowing deep into the body. And inhale, lift it up. And cross the left hand to the right knee and look over the right shoulder. Inhale, lifting the heart, rolling the shoulders back. And exhale, continuing the twist as you gaze to the right. Circle the chin if that feels nice. Starting to move around. Slowly up, over and down. And then the opposite direction, rolling the chin around. Now release to the center. Inhale to a straight back. And exhale, twist to the left side, crossing the right hand to the left knee. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. And exhale, squeeze in the navel as you take the twist a little deeper. Begin to circle with the chin. If you feel inclined, lifting up on the inhale. And rolling down on the exhale. And reversing the circles at some point. And come back to the center and stretch out the arms to either side and rotate the palms up, the thumbs back and down. And then turn the palms face down and face behind. So rotating the palms back and forth. And then shimmy side to side, palms face up. Great. Now that gives the spine lots of opening. It's always important to open the shoulders and the hips before you start doing meditation or any more advanced asana. But we'll do next, since we're seated, a little boat pose. So, this will help. I think it's okay. So I'm going to stretch out here, stretch out the legs, come off my cushion for Navasana, the boat, and comfortable place for the sitting bones to snuggle into the mat, and lean back, lift the heels, and start using the arms to support so I can focus on alignment, rolling the shoulders back and into the spine, lifting the heart, lengthening the neck so there's no cramping in the neck. And continue holding the pose or exploring some variations of the pose. Maybe you have a chance to extend the legs. Okay. Maybe open the arms. And each inhale, brighten the pose and more energy. Exhale, draw into the core. Expanding on the inhale, strengthening the core on the exhale. You're doing great. And 3 more breaths, just 3 more. And 2 more. Last breath. You great. You did it. Release. Nice. We'll come to upward facing table. Strengthening the back muscles now and bringing the hands behind the hips. Place the feet flat in front of you. Tuck the shoulder blades into the back and press the feet and hands down so the sides of the hips lift up. And pull the heels up towards the hands to lift the hips another inch. Good job. Those are great. Great poses. Continue holding 3 more breaths. This is so good for our posture. Resets the back. And last breath, lifting to your max. You're amazing. You did it. And release that down. Take a rest. You deserve. All right. Now lie back. And hug one right knee into the chest. And start to open the hips on our back. Tight hamstrings are another cause of bad posture. So lying on your back gives you the opportunity to stretch the hips and the hamstrings without sacrificing your alignment and posture. Please extend the right leg up to the sky and interlace the hands behind the right thigh. And soften the right knee on the inhale. Extend through the ball of the foot as you exhale, pushing that thigh into the hands and straightening the knee as you exhale. Over a series of breaths, you may have the ability to walk the hands up to the calf or the ankle. Some yogis hold the big toe. Well, keeping the left thigh pressing down, the left leg active, the toes spread. Now try opening the right leg to the right side, sweeping it out. Support under the outside of the thigh or the knee. And flex that foot so the knee stays straight. Both legs are extended. Very good. That's it. Now bend the right knee. Roll over onto your left hip and cross the right knee to the left side. The left hand coming to that right knee will add to the twist, but before you deepen the twist, pull the navel to the spine, press the outer left hip down against the earth. Inhale, relax the twist, and exhale, navel to spine, twist a little deeper. And relax, another deep breath. That leg. And then roll back onto your spine. Extend the right leg flat and hug the left knee into the chest. That's it. Hugging left knee to chest. Good. And please extend the left leg up to the sky. Interlace the hands behind that thigh and soften the knee enough to let your head and shoulders rest comfortably. And as you exhale, begin to extend and straighten that left leg, pushing the thigh against the hands and straightening the knee. Good. And working with the breath, you're going to eventually deepen the stretch, maybe holding onto the calf or even the big toe or the outside edge of the foot. If you And then gently opening the left leg to the left side, supporting it with the left hand somewhere. Good job, that's right. Excellent. And then bend the left knee and roll over onto the right hip, crossing the left knee to the right side. On the outside of the right hip, press the hip against the earth and use the exhale to draw the navel to the spine and deepen the twist. Relax on the inhalation, lengthen through the bottom leg, and exhale, twist to the side as you're comfortable with your breath. And then release onto the back. Good. And we'll do reclining leg cradle, or thread the needle it's sometimes called. Still on your back, lift the knees up, walk the feet in, and cross the right ankle over the left knee. Now the right knee is sticking out to the side. If that hip is tight, just gently open the knee more with the right hand, like you were sitting in a chair with that ankle crossed over. For a deeper stretch in the hip, just thread the right arm between the legs and hold around the back of the left thigh or over the left knee. And with your head and shoulders resting comfortably on the ground, begin to draw that left knee closer as you exhale. And pulse with the breath, loosening the arms as you inhale and tightening the squeeze as you exhale. Okay, very good. That's it. Excellent, good. Now we'll switch sides, so putting that right foot down, cross the left ankle over the right knee. And if you feel, you can stretch deeper, draw the right knee in towards your chest, keeping the head and shoulders down, squeezing to spine as you exhale helps you bring knee closer, the abdominal muscles working as well as the arms to add stretch in the hip. Good work, that's right. And take a last breath there. Release both feet down to the mat for bridge pose. So the feet are about hip distance apart, but we're keeping the feet parallel, not letting the toes turn out to the side. Walk the heels up close to the sitting bones for more height, and then lift the sides of the hips up. You can hold the back of the buttocks with the hands to boost it up higher, or clasp the hands under your back, tuck the shoulder blades up and under the heart, and begin lifting the chest as well as the hips. Keep the chin up, the head back. Inhale, lift the hips, and exhale, squeeze the buttocks, hug the thighs to the midline. Enjoy a few more breaths here. Stretching those hip flexors a little more. And then release the hands, lower the buttocks down. Good. Now we'll come around to a kneeling position. You step right forward to low lunge. And open the hips a little more, stretching, walking the left knee back, stretching that left hip flexor a little more. Press down either through the toe pad or the toenails on the back foot. So the back leg is actually helping support you. You're using both legs together to root down, and then just lifting the hands up to the front knee to begin this. Taking a nice deep breath, enjoying the surroundings. So beautiful, so peaceful. And then lifting the arms, bend the elbows out to the sides. Draw the shoulder blades down and into the back. Great. Keep hugging the legs to the midline, pushing down through the feet, engaging the inner thighs, the pelvic floor, using that stability to begin to tilt the head back into a little back bend. And then release, bring the hands down to the mat and start to straighten the front knee. Lift the front toes up as you fold forward. But on the inhale, bend the knee again, soften that stretch, and exhale, stretch forward with the head, back with the hip. So we're pulsing with the breath, the movement as large or small as you need. Trying to constrict the air in the back of the throat with that ujjayi breath. One more movement on this side. The longer the breath, the more time you have to enjoy the stretch. When you're finished, we'll switch legs. Step right foot back, left foot forward. And walk the right knee back to its max. Press down through that back leg and knee. And climb up to the front thigh with the hands. Okay, roll the shoulders up and back. Pull the navel in as you exhale, deepen the stretch in that front of the right hip. Good. Engaging the muscles that we're stretching to protect the joints. Lift up through the pelvic floor, tone in the lower belly. Then gradually bring the arms up to cactus arms. And draw the shoulder blades in and down as you curl the chest up. And gradually tilt the head back. And release the hands back to the earth. Start to straighten the front knee. Press the left hip back and lift the left toes up. Inhale, soften or bend the knee. And exhale, stretch again over that left hip. Squeezing the kneecap. Hug the muscles to the bone. Always engaging the muscles that we're stretching so that the entire belly of the muscle stretches. And we're not just putting all the tension at the attachment where the ligaments could get damaged. Okay. Ujjayi breathing. Because my microphone's next to my mouth, I think some of the online people can hear some of my Ujjayi breath when I'm not talking. Take one final deep breath here. That's great. You're doing beautiful stretch. Release that left foot back. And come down to the mat on our chest for Cobra pose. Okay, important to have our back muscles strong enough to support the spine. So we'll do this Cobra pose. Bring the legs to the midline, press the tops of the feet, toenails down, and push down through the front of the hips. Curl the shoulders forward and up. And gently pull back through the palms and elbows. A little bend in the elbows. Now just keep it loose, keep it free. Maybe your Cobra has some little serpentine movement. Curl back through the palate. Okay, squeeze the buttocks so you can push down through the pubic bone. It's easy to straighten the arms if the hips lift up, right? But to get that deeper back bend, squeeze the buttocks, keep the front of the hips glued to the mat, and then roll the shoulders up and back. Begin to deepen that back bend. Very good. Those are great. Let's enjoy another deep breath here. Really strengthen your back. And then ease back down. Relax to the ground. And slowly push yourself up to table pose. One more back bend. Let's do camel. So high kneeling position. How am I doing? Yeah, time flies. All right, so camel, you can keep the hands around the hips and the lower back, or slide one hand down at a time to the heel. Take the other arm in a big circle around, back, and down to find the other heel. Good. You found both heels. Now lift the heart, press the hips forward, and lengthen the ears back away from the shoulders. And come out of the pose. Squeeze the knees and thighs towards the midline. Sweep one arm forward, lift it up, and then the other arm joins it. You lengthen again through the spine and forward into child's pose for a counter stretch. Pushing the palms forward and away helps send the hips back and down. As you exhale, pull the navel up and in so the hips can sink deeper. Stretch out the lower back. Okay. And I think if you're ready, come up to tiger dog. Spread the fingers, curl the toes under, and lift up the knees. So you can walk the knees some, straighten one at a time. On the exhale, heels back and down. Press the fingers out and away. Inhale, relax the shoulders, expand the back of the neck. And on your exhale, pull the navel in and lengthen the legs and arms. Right, nice downward dogs. Let's lift the right leg up. Open the right hip. And rest right foot back down. Switch sides and lift the left leg up. And lower the left foot down and come through to seated. Out the legs, staff pose, where we begin in seated position, so we can first orient ourselves. The crown of the head over the shoulders over the hips. So there's a plumb line from the crown right down through the sitting bones. And you can press your fingertips behind you to help support the back. Okay. Now, bend the right knee out to the right side for head to knee pose, Shirshasana. Move the buttocks back so the sitting bone, you're on the front edge of the sitting bones. Inhale, draw the lower back in, lift the heart up, open the shoulders wide. And on the exhale, hinge at the hip. Squeeze the left kneecap so this left quadricep is nice and strong. Hug the muscles to the bone. Flex that left ankle, toes are spreading. And over a series of breaths, find your way into the pose. Ujjayi breathing, victorious breath. Maintaining that tone in the inner thighs, in the pelvic floor, and in the lower belly. So you stay very rooted to the ground, like these ancient trees that are here with deep, strong roots. Keeping both sitting bones rooted into the ground adds to the stretch in the lower back. If you lose that, then the stretch is really only happening in the upper back. So, lift up with a nice inhale and switch legs. Extend the right, bend the left knee to the side. Again, move the buttocks back, widen the sitting bones. Establish the steadiness of a solid foundation with muscular energy hugging into the midline, squeezing the quadricep, lifting this kneecap up, pulling the toes back, even the little toe edge coming back as much as the big toe side. So I'm not sickling in the ankle this way, but keeping this outer shin nice and strong. Inhale, lifting the heart, rolling the shoulders back. Great. You're doing beautiful breaths. Coming forward some on the exhale. Finding that Ujjayi victorious breath. Keeping head of the arm bones lifting up and the shoulder blades moving back and into the spine. There's always a temptation to reach out to the foot and make sure that the rib cage is facing the right leg and not twisting to the side. Sometimes that right shoulder gets ahead of the left shoulder. you can counteract that by crossing the left hand to the outside of the right shin and pulling against that outer shin to help twist the chest towards that right leg more. So there is a partial twist involved as you come forward. And you'll feel that stretch more in the lower left side of the back now. Deep, victorious breath. I love this for hip opener. Of course, there are many seated poses that involve the hip opening stretches. Inhale, lift up, and perhaps we'll explore one of those. And Gomukasana, cow face pose. So coming to cow face pose, I usually start on hands and knees. Bring right knee forward and twist that right foot off to the left side of the mat. Then snuggle the left knee up in behind the right. And that foot sticks out the opposite side as well. And walking the hands back and coming to sit. This is where a cushion can be very helpful, to bring cushion underneath the buttocks. It's what I find is really essential to maintain any sort of balance and stability in the pose. But some people are born with hips they can just sit like that and don't see what the problem is. So for those people with more flexible hips, you should start to fold forward. Now I'm going to hold on to the balls of the feet, press the balls of the feet out, and use the hands to resist that. So that builds a little more muscular energy in the legs. And it also helps support the shoulders more, so I'm not going to round down in the chest or throat, but keep the back of the neck and spine one straight line. Ujjayi breathing helps to calm the mind as you lengthen the breath. And inhale, lift the head up and switch the legs the other side. So you can either do that seated or start in that kneeling position to get the knees stacked together. And then add some support, cushioning there under the buttocks if necessary. All right. Inhale, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, and exhale, find that plumb line from the crown of the head down through the sitting bones, sitting tall and straight, relaxed and steady. If you desire more of a stretch in the hips, start to fold forward, using some of the pressure of the hands against the feet to maintain that integrity of muscular energy, keeping the spine straight, the neck long. And release, inhale, lift up, and exhale, stretch out the legs. And again, another popular hip opener is lotus pose. I don't usually practice that, but half lotus is a possibility. So practicing half lotus, lift the right foot and cradle the right leg. Eventually bringing the shin up towards the chest like a forklift, lifting it. I'm trying to keep that outer ankle from overstretching. So instead of sickling and spraining the ankle, pull the little toe edge back and work that foot up to the left hip crease. Having that right ankle in the left hip crease and activating the outer shin muscle so the foot and ankle are straight and not starting to sink down with the ankles bent. So if you don't have that flexibility to keep the ankle on top of the thigh, or it's too painful there, use your hands or put that foot back on the ground. Otherwise, half lotus, now we fold the left leg to bring it under. And maybe you want to lift up the hips and move the sitting bones back. Maybe even prop up on a blanket there. So you can draw the lower back in and keep the head and neck and trunk all in one vertical plumb line. So maybe not the most comfortable pose for everyone. I'm right there with you, so not to worry. Ujjayi, victorious breaths. Breathe into the hips. Obviously, more flexible people need to go farther, so they would fold forward or take the full lotus position. So I'm going to switch sides. Maybe a little massage there. Thank you. And start to cradle the left leg. Bring the left shin up towards the chest. Maybe it's forklifts, or maybe you have the cradling where you can slowly work that left ankle up into the crease of the right hip. So the center of the ankle right over the center of the right hip crease, and fold that right knee so that right heel can come under, and lift up the sitting bones. Get them to move back so you're on the front edge of the sitting bones. The lower back can draw in, and the head, neck, and trunk stay in that plumb line. If you want to stretch the hips more, maybe you come forward or come into the full lotus. I would advise you not to come into full lotus unless this left knee is all the way down on the ground. That's a big stretch, and you really need to inner spiral that left thigh. Yeah. See, I'm still away, so I'm not going to try lifting this foot. Bring it on top. I will stretch out the legs, give them a rest, knees a little massage. And we'll do our inversion. So, inverting the legs, keeping the hips on the ground is our simplest option. So to accomplish that, just slide the hands under the back of the buttocks, maybe even curling the fingers into little half fists, so you have a little support underneath the buttocks. And then you'll extend the legs, lift them to the sky, inner edges of the feet touching maybe. And breathing victorious breaths. Calming the mind with that long, slow exhale. A lot of people practice shoulder stand, but it's advised to use several blankets as a prop before you attempt to do that. And I'll save that for another time. Hopefully you can hear the touch of breath in the back of the throat with your ujjayi breathing, soothing, calming the mind with those steady, even breaths that just link from one to the next without any pause or jerkiness. The inhalation lasting about the same length of time as the exhalation. And start to release and bring the feet down out of the inversion. Remove the hands. Extend out your legs straight away from you on the mat. And then rolling from one side to another, cup your hands around the sides of the buttocks and underneath for fish pose. And then the legs are straight on the ground, but you're going to lift your chest up. So press the elbows down, lift the chest up, and then start to tilt the head back. So the chin up, the head back, the shoulder blades tucking in and lifting up under the heart. And now you have completely different perspective on life, seeing the world upside down. All right. Lifting the head first, look towards your feet, and then lower the back down, shoulders on the ground, and take a symmetrical stretch up through the arms, arms extending over the head, legs pointing out and away. Inhale, stretching through the full length of your body, and exhale, sinking into the ground, into your mat. Expanding with the inhale and subsiding on the exhale. Breathe as though your whole body breathes. Now, I'm going to finish. I think it's time. Time to finish with our meditation. So, coming to a comfortable seated pose, and perhaps using a blanket or cushion to sit on. Good. We stretch the body, got it strong and limber. That's the first step. Now that we're sitting, we're going to have to find good posture. Drawing the lower back in is accomplished by pulling the heels gently in towards the sitting bones. So I'm toning the inner thighs a little bit and the calves, and that's beginning to energize here in the front of the hips and pelvis so that my lower back can draw in and the front of the body lift up and the shoulders roll up and back, widening the collarbones. The hands are just resting on the thighs, maybe keeping the inner body bright, and the head, neck, and trunk all balanced in that plumb line over the sitting bones. So I need to find that plumb line. I'm going to come forward a little bit, see how that feels, lean back some, and just by experimentation come to a point where you feel the crown of your head is exactly over the sitting bones, and you're going to have to maintain a little bit of muscular energy to prevent that gradual deterioration and collapse in the chest. Okay, so you're nice and strong in the core now, so you can do this. Now, for the first few moments, the mind is still quite occupied with all the thoughts that keep bubbling up to the surface of your consciousness. So as these thoughts arise, you can acknowledge them. Oh, there's that type of thought. Oh, here's this type of thought. And just kind of acknowledge that they've come, but they're not important at this time, so just let them pass. As thoughts arise, just acknowledge, let them go. Bringing awareness again to your body. So if there was any tension, unnecessary tension in the forehead and the scalp, just breathe some ease into the forehead, into the face. Relax the eyes. And relax the jaw, the tongue, the throat. Let this relaxation spread through the shoulders, down through the arms, into the palms, and into the fingers. Feeling nice and relaxed now. Breathing into the heart and chest, relaxing the chest. Relaxing the abdomen. The hips, only as much energy as necessary to maintain good alignment in the hips and legs. Releasing any unnecessary clenching or fighting within the pose. So the body is perfectly comfortable, calm, and at peace in this pose. And now we bring the mind also to calmness, peace. Start to notice the touch of breath in the nostrils, breathing in and out through the nostrils. You can notice a fresh coolness to the inhalation and a gentle warmth to the exhalation. Sensing the air as it flows in and out through the nostrils, up through the sinuses, and up to the third eye between the eyebrows. And then on the exhale from the third eye, back down and out through the nostrils, over the upper lip. And follow the breath with your mind, with your awareness. And even following the breath, sometimes the mind gets distracted. So we practice a mantra to help the mind stay centered and focused. The mind resting in the sound of the mantra protects it. The mantra again is so on the inhale and hum on the exhale. So you have good posture, you have breath awareness, and now you have the mantra to practice and keep the mind from rambling off in different directions. Bring the mind home, bring it home to the body with this inner awareness. The Yoga Sutras talk about the 8 limbs of yoga. Asana is one limb, pranayama is another. Withdraw the senses, pratyahara is next. We're turning the senses inward. And every time a noise or distraction pulls the senses outward, we remember that we're focusing on the mantra and come back to rest in the sound of the mantra. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. And just keep returning to those sounds as often as necessary, becoming a witness to the thoughts of your mind. You're both the one who meditates and the observer of the one who meditates. You're doing a great job with your meditation. If at any point it's too tiring to stay seated, feel free to rest back in Shavasana. Otherwise, remain seated for 2 more minutes. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Now begin to deepen your breath. Rub the palms together if you're seated, build up some heat in the hands, and then cup the palms over the eye sockets so that warmth touches the face, and the eyes can open softly into that protection. Massaging forehead, temples, any part of the face or neck. Congratulations on your meditation.